All right, folks, I'm back on the range for part 2 of the low budget self-defense ammunition demonstration. For those of you wondering why there is a part 2, please see part 1 of the video and you will get a better understanding of what ammunition that's been tested, as well as seeing the chronograph results. This is a follow-up with the gel results. In part 2, I am going to go ahead and fire all 3 brands of ammunition again, from the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield into the clear ballistics gelatin. And for those that have seen part 1, yes, I brought both ballistics blocks. So the first one is going to be the Federal HST 124 grain 9mm. Second is going to be the Gold Dot 124 grain non-plus P 9mm. And the third is going to be the Geco, the low budget 124 grain hollow point red zone ammunition. Let's put these 3 rounds down range and see how it does in the clear ballistics gelatin. First up, Federal HST. All right, so that'll be 2 rounds in the clear ballistics block that we can dig out. We'll do the tail of the tape as well after we fire all 3 shots. Now, the Spear Gold Dot. All right, so that'll be 2 rounds in the clear ballistics block that we can dig out. We'll do the tail of the tape as well after we fire all 3 shots. Now, the Spear Gold Dot. Woo! That was cooking. You could tell the velocity is a lot higher on that one. Now, the Geco red zone. This is what we came for, to see how low budget self-defense ammunition would expand in clear ballistics gelatin. Lot lower recoil on that one. Let's go down range and get the tail of the tape. All right, so let's get the tail of the tape. Guys, this is pretty interesting. So this one here in the screen is the Geco red dot. That one right there in the screen is the Geco red zone. I'm sorry, Geco red zone. The Geco red zone coming in at about 17.5 inches. Oh, look at this. Look at this, folks. So, hope you can see that. The old Spear Gold Dot is trapped right in between both blocks of clear ballistics gelatin. And it, in Spear Gold Dot fashion, it did seem to expand like it should. We are going to call that 16.5 inches. 16.5 inches on the Spear Gold Dot. And then you have the Federal HST that traveled into the second block right about here. So about 1 inch, 1.5 inches into the second block. Looks like it expanded well. We're going to call the Federal HST, we're going to call that Wow, I'm amazed. So the federal HST and the Geco red zone both come in at about 17.5 inches in clear ballistics gelatin. Folks, let's get back to the reloading layer and get the weights and measurements of these 9mm projectiles. Moving on to weights and measures. As you guys saw in episode 1, the federal HST was the only thing that stayed in the clear ballistics gelatin. It came in at 14 inches. Well, in this episode, I'm back on the range with 2 blocks this time, and I would refire all 3 rounds from the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, with 2 blocks guaranteeing to capture the 9mm rounds. From right to left, you have the federal HST fired from the previous episode. Then this episode, you have the federal HST, and it penetrated 17 inches. Then I fired the Spear Gold Dot, and it penetrated 16 inches. Then we fired Geco Red Zone, and that penetrated also 17 inches. Now, let's move on to the weights. In the weights, HST from episode 1 came in at 123.8 grains, a little shy of the 124 grains. Now for episode 2, this particular HST came in at 123.9 grains. Then you have the Spear Gold Dot, which seemed to gain a little weight maybe, or just have some clear ballistics gelatin stuck in it, and it came in at 125.1 grains. The Geco Red Zone, no slouch, it came in at 123.7 grains, the lightest of them all. Moving on to expansion. From episode 1, HST expanded 0.624. For episode 2, HST expanded 0.628. Moving on to the Spear Gold Dot, it expanded 0.583. And then the Geco Red Zone. Not much expansion there. I think probably because of the velocity around 900 feet per second, expanded 0.509. There you have it, folks. There's your weight and measures. Are you risking your safety or your family's safety with low budget self-defense ammunition? You be the judge. Great results out on the range today with the 9mm low budget ammunition. But you guys know I couldn't leave the range right away without giving you something a little special. Is it 9mm or isn't it? Yes, folks, this is a rare Smith & Wesson 547 9mm revolver. I shouldn't say rare, but not many made, shall I say. So we're going to put 5 rounds downrange on target, but you got to come back today at the range because there's a special edition coming up next on rare revolvers and rare pistols. Stay tuned. By the way, for those revolver fans out there, this one does not need moon clips and it ejects a rimless cartridge. Hopefully you can see that. That's right, folks. You're going to want to see a review on this one and a few more to go along with it. I promise you. Nice little group downrange. By the way, folks, this is that Geco 9mm. Look at that. Empties right out. Thank you for joining me today for part 2 of the low budget self-defense ammunition. Stay tuned for in-depth detailed review and a rare revolver pistol series coming up. Mr. Revolver Guy, DayAtTheRange.com.